What's going on, guys? Your boy Amazing here, back with another video. And in today's video, guys, we are here with another Duet Abyss video to do the build guide here for Truffle and Filbert. We're going to be going over support Truffle and Filbert as combat AI support, and also a DPS build for Truffle and Filbert, guys. I know, a little crazy, but you guys will see the footage at the end of the video. Truffle and Filbert, again, like we've talked about it on all the other videos I've done on the channel so far, guys, but Truffle and Filbert is one of the best characters in the game. Let's go over the character skills, and we're going to talk the demon wedges and how the build actually works in terms of, you know, using it as a combat AI or using her as a on-fielder DPS. So let's hop in and let's go to the skills. Now, the first skill here, Trotter's Trot Trot, commands Filbert to charge forward, dealing a Nemo damage to the enemies in the path. Upon hitting any obstacles, triggers AoE and Nemo damage at the end point. While the skill is active, heals Truffle and allies and increases their damage. When Truffle rides on Filbert, this skill is replaced with the Trotter's Charge. Now, hold for a sustained charge, continuously consuming sanity and dealing a Nemo damage to enemies in the path. Upon hitting any obstacle, Filbert stops charging, dealing AoE and Nemo damage at the end point. So that's going to be the skill. And remember, guys, this is the one that's going to be giving you the damage percent boost and the consistent healing. So that is like the main support that you get out of using Truffle and Filbert when you use the character, is that whenever they use the skill, they're going to be giving you heals and then the damage boost. Right now at level 8, it's at about 75%, which is really insane. Now, moving on to the ultimate here, guys, Tummy Hands Full. So Tummy Full, Hands Full, Truffle rides on Filbert and gains 100 points of passion for work and a movement speed boost, dealing a Nemo damage to enemies in the path when moving. When riding on Filbert, Truffle is unable to use any weapon but can command Filbert to attack. When this skill is used again, Truffle dismounts and unleashes Trotter's Trot Trot once. Now, passion for work is going to be you lose 5 points per second and restore 1 when dealing damage upon knocking into a target. During Trotter's Charge, passion for work will not lose, and when passion for work points drop to 0, Truffle dismounts and unleashes Trotter's Trot once again. So yeah, that is going to be the ultimate right there, guys. That's when you actually do get to ride on Filbert, and then you do like a bunch of damage, and you know, as you can see, it is scaling through the HP percent and your skill damage. Now, moving on to the passive here, guys, we do have Chop Commissionaries. Gains 1 stack of heavyweight for every second Truffle keeps moving up to 10 stacks, and heavyweight's going to be increasing your damage dealt and damage reduction, and then everything else from there is just more supportive abilities. You do also give resolve to self and allies for if you have 2 or more of the team having the exact same element. So there is that as well. So that's pretty much the kit right there, guys, of Truffle and Filbert. So let's actually hop in now and discuss the build that we're going to be rocking for this character, specifically as a combat AI partner. We'll do that first, and then we'll go over the DPS build as well. So as combat AI, remember, you're only going to be using 1 weapon for combat AI, guys. So the one that we actually use is going to be Arclight Apocalypse. This one's going to be giving skill duration, which increases the duration of your buff that you're going to be providing. And then whenever you land a crit with this weapon, randomly grants other allies one of the following effects. You gain attack percent, defense, skill damage, or skill duration. And all of these buffs, by the way, are stackable. So the more crits that you get with this weapon, you can pretty much have 100% uptime on all these buffs as long as this weapon is critting consistently. And so for the build for that, guys, you would just want to run, you know, max crit chance. You have the crit chance mod that lowers the attack speed as well. I do like ammo conversion rate on this, just to, you know, have less ammo be drained from your, you know, magazine. You get a little bit more crit chance, and then max ammo minus reload speed, because this gun or because it's a bow, it doesn't have any magazine in a sense, so it's all reserves. So that's why you would go max ammo minus reload speed. So that is going to be the weapon right there. And now let's actually go to the character's demon wedges, guys. So this is what we're rocking right here. So we have Turbulent Cyclone, skill duration plus 24%. When an Nemo character's ranged weapon triggers a bonus effect, grant 5.4% resolve to the user and nearby allies for 10 seconds. So just getting a little bit extra damage through resolve, and you get a lot of, you know, skill duration as well. Moving on, we do have the Covenant's Wing Eternity. This is going to be max sanity, skill duration, and then this is the mod that you can actually have multiple of on the build. I decided to only have 1 on the build though, guys, because there is some other mods that we do want to run that are going to be boosting the overall performance of Truffle and Filbert. But this one obviously is very good though, with skill duration and max sanity. Now the next one that we have here is just going to be Phoenix Nirvana Wings version, which gives you HP and max sanity, which for you guys that don't know, Truffle and Filbert is a HP scaling character, for that's how she's able to get her damage, but also how she's able to actually heal. So HP and max sanity. We do also have Phoenix Nirvana at base, which is just 75% HP. We do also have the Pan's Eternity, which is going to be giving you duration and lowering your skill range, which skill range really doesn't matter too much on Truffle and Filbert, since most of your attacks are going to be pretty much instant in terms of where they're actually hitting, and you're not going to really have to worry too much about range, as that's not a stat that Truffle and Filbert really relies on too much. We do also have Typhon's Prime Serenity. This is the one that gives sanity to your allies, and then we do also have the Inspo Shards, which is going to be lowering your shield but giving you a little bit more skill efficiency. And then we do have, for the final mod here, guys, the Max Sanity skill efficiency Siren's Wing inspo. So yeah, that is pretty much the build right there. And then your middle you know, like kind of slot right here can literally be anything. I go with this one since, you know, when using an ultimate skill restores HP. I don't even think Truffle and Filbert could actually use ultimate, so honestly that one really doesn't matter, guys. You could probably just slot in like any other like middle piece slot one. I honestly don't really think it matters too much, but yeah, I mean, you can go with the, like the damage reduction one. You can go with maybe even the like dodge one, or like the mid-air damage one. It's really up to you, but it shouldn't matter too much, as this is again for combat AI. Alright guys, so now let's kind of show exactly how Truffle and Filbert works in terms of getting their buffs for the team. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to spawn some level 60 Savage Filthoids here, and we're gonna make it so that they're not active, and we're just gonna spawn them. So I'll show you guys how this works. But let's say you're running Truffle and Filbert as combat AI support. What's gonna happen is whenever they use this skill, remember this is not the ultimate, whenever they use this skill, you get the damage buff and the heal. So whenever the skill goes off, boom, you can see on the bottom right there that my buff is available. It's also starting to drain, and you can see that the timer on the buff is going down. I don't know the exact duration that I have on this build. Let's actually see. Can I see the exact duration? Okay, I have to kill all the enemies. So the duration on my buff is going to be about 12 seconds, which is pretty good, right? So 12 seconds for that damage buff, and then you are getting the heal in it as well. But yeah, that's pretty much all Truffle and Filbert needs to do, guys. Is all they need to do is use the skill, and you're going to be getting your heals and your damage buff, and that's the main, you know, kind of idea for how to actually get off a bunch of damage. So again, let's spawn in the Savage Filtoids, and I'm going to show you guys when I have combat AI partners, or if I have res combat AI. So let me actually swap over to a different character here. So let me just kill the enemies. All right guys, so I have Lizbel here just as an example here. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm actually gonna, you know, spawn in the combat AI. So I'm gonna spawn Truffle and Filbert in, and so now when I do the, you know, if we spawn in like the Savage Filtoids here, let's do this, and then we'll just make it so that there, you know, there's 20 of them available. I'm gonna go over here with my Truffle and Filbert, and they're gonna give me the buff as they do the E skill. So you'll see as they come up here, when they go for the E with, you know, there we go, I was about to say, you can see at the bottom of my screen, you see the damage buff and the duration on that damage buff. So you guys can see that pretty much you're always going to be getting that buff from Truffle and Filbert, as long as they are using the, you know, skill right there to actually get you that, and that's why you run that as combat AI. And again, the main reason why we're rocking with so much duration is so that the damage buff lasts as long as possible, and then we also do have a fairly good amount of the skill efficiency as well, so that the cast of skills is not going to be as, you know, like strenuous for that character to be able to use it. So that's why on the build, you guys can see we have about 200% duration and then 130% skill efficiency, which allows you to pretty much be able to spam the skill, and for the most part you shouldn't really have too many issues with that. So that is going to be the support build right there, guys, for Truffle and Filbert. Now you guys want to see the DPS build. Okay, so for the DPS build, this is the setup that we have right here. So we are rocking Hauteur's Whispering Zephyr. So this is again when a Nemo character uses combat skills, gains 84% skill damage increase for 6 seconds. We do also have the Max Sanity mod, because, you know, sanity is going to be very important for this build, being able to spam these skills and doing damage. We do also have Griffin Squall. Now the Nemo attack percent I don't think is as important, but it's mainly for the extra skill damage. I guess a Nemo attack technically counts for damage, but I'm honestly not too sure exactly how the scaling on that. But again, you know, Truffle and Filbert is HP scaling, so you do just kind of want more skill damage in a sense. We do have Phoenix Nirvana for HP percent. We have the Phoenix Nirvana Wings for HP and Sanity. We have the Sanity Efficiency mod. We have the Morale Typhon's Prime, so we have, you know, when we're max HP, pretty much we do more damage. And then we do also have the skill duration minus skill range. So you can see that all we're really doing is just investing a little bit in skill damage. And if you are running main DPS, guys, then you want to run the Wayne Wraith, which gives you 24% skill damage. And then you do also want to run, instead of Arc Light, you would go with the dual pistols that give you the 24% skill damage as well. So I'm gonna actually equip both of these things right here. And now when we actually do the showcase here, let me switch over to Truffle and Filbert, and we'll run a bunch of supports here to actually buff the team. So let's actually back out. I'm gonna spawn in Daphne, and I'm gonna spawn in. Oh wait, I need to get to Beth on my tactical backpack. Give me one sec, guys. All right, guys, so as you can see now, I have spawned in Daphne and to Beth, and so yeah, now what we're gonna do is we're just gonna spawn in again the level 60 savage Philtoids, and I'll show you guys what DPS Truffle and Filbert can actually do. I mean, it honestly is pretty cool that you can run a character like, you know, a support character as a DPS in this game, but that goes to show like how good this game can be in terms of build diversity. But yeah, as you guys saw right there, look how much damage we were doing, about what, 20k going through the enemies with the skill right there. And then when we go into ultimate, this is where we're going to be doing a lot more damage now. So you guys can see when we go through the charge, you are doing about, what is that, 14k going through all these enemies. And then you can also do your normal attack, which does do 100k, as you guys see right there. So normal attacks are doing a lot of damage with this build, so you guys can see right here. So look at that, 140k. Right, isn't that a little crazy? Like, this character is a little overtuned on the scaling, man, for sure. So yeah, as you guys can see, the damage is looking pretty good, and Truffle and Filbert, if you do run DPS, is fairly strong as well. So what I'll do is I'll show you guys the kind of footage here that I have for Truffle and Filbert on DPS, and I actually went in Immersive Theater to show you guys with the Anemo damage buff on Act 1 how strong the character actually is, and you guys will see in the footage that, yeah, I mean, she obviously is hitting very, very crazy numbers. And yeah, I mean, you can actually run characters in this game, guys, as DPS if you need to, which I think is a very cool thing that you can do. And yeah, I mean, Truffle and Filbert is one of those characters that you can run both. So that's why I decided to go with, you know, both a support and DPS build for this video. So you guys have those options if you do care to run this character like that. And yeah, I mean, again, super crazy. What I'll do though for the rest of the video, guys, I'll let you guys enjoy the Act 1 of Immersive Theater Immortal, by the way. And I'll let you guys just kind of see exactly how good she is, but she's just super broken. So I'll let you guys enjoy the clip. And yeah, that's going to be it for the video. Hope you guys did enjoy, and I'm gonna see you guys on the next one, man. Peace out. Have a great rest of your day, guys. See you later, man.